the lamb long enough.
So you guys can probably tell one of our team members is having some trouble with her camera.
Is that Stacy?
Yeah. And I think she's just tried to reset it, but it's not looking good right now.
Okay. Well, is she in a conference room?
No, she's at home.
Oh, okay.
Well, you'll have to just be on your honor that you're not cheating.
If anybody knows Stacy, you know that she is the most stand-up, ethical person I think that I've ever met. So
you know that, though I also know that people can lose. People's better natures can be left aside when so much is at stake as in a TPT match.
It's true.
I mean, there's Bobcas possibly
Right.
Bobcas. I mean,
Bobka is big inducement to all sorts of stuff.
Rochelle
However,
also looks frozen to me, but everyone else looks. Like, is Rochelle also stuck?
I think Stacy is immune to even the Bobka temptation.
Hi, Rochelle.
Did we get the Buzz app link and game code?
Yeah, it's tpt.mykaplan.tv.
Thank you.
The code is 984.
Thank you.
And I will share that now. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can put it in a different. Yep. Okay.
Can I select Lobstrocities and put in a bunch of wrong answers?
If you were so inclined.
Did I say that out loud?
John, come on. We're supposed to be ethical here.
Oh. Okay, I'll follow Stacy's lead.
Trying to get both of these in the same. Okay, here we go. Now if I share this one, okay.
While we're waiting, last time we played, there was a bit of confusion about how to use the conference line, what was allowed and what was not allowed. We were under the impression that we weren't allowed to confer before buzz-in because of the expert rule. Is that true? Because that rule wasn't clear, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. You're not allowed to confer before you buzz.
Okay, that's what we want to make sure. But then, so the conference line is really only for steals.
Steals, and also we give you a chance before each category to kind of strategize to say, oh, I know this category. I'm gonna wait to the 4 or 5, or we're behind. We're so far ahead. Let's not buzz in this. You know.
Right.
So you can talk between categories. Bob will give you like 10 seconds.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
So as it already seems, there seem to be the hangout issues that we have had. Kim dropped and Bob dropped. So as this match goes on, I'll keep an eye on everything. It does seem that I think it's due to numbers, even though we've upgraded. I'm hoping to get a reply back from Google through our Google rep, but I think as the numbers exceed a certain level here, something happens, people get kicked out. Once they come back a second time, typically they can stay. I see Stacy's on, which is a good sign. But I'll keep an eye on everything and try to make sure everybody's connected. If you do have a problem and you can't get back in, feel free to shoot me a G-chat and I will try to assist as best I can.
I just got an interesting message, which is why
Yes.
it said series terminated because of browser shutdown.
Nice. Well, I mean, you were actually kicked off the island, Bob. I apologize. This is how you have to find out.
I suppose.
Right. So we should be good to go, but as I just told everybody, Bob, that if technology intercedes, just shoot me an instant message and I'll try my best to let people know how to get back in, and hopefully we do have a reply from Google in the not too distant future.
There's only 2 people in MedSurge in the buzzer.
Yeah, she's getting in right now.
Okay, you guys.
And Monica's on her way in as well. Sorry.
Okay.
And we are live whenever you guys are ready to go. So Bob, you are ready to start while we get those other people into the buzzer.
Okay. Hello, teams, and hello, spectators, if any. Welcome to another week of TPT. Our first match today is between MedSurge, the red team, whose captain is Circa. Can we get a wave from all the members of the red team MedSurge? And big smiles, keep them going. Versus Lobstrocities, the blue team, with Mark as the captain. We can get a little wave from all of them. We've been trying to work out all sorts of kinks. Technical ones may still plague us, but I'm happy that the play of the game seems to have worked out. The only consultation that teams may indulge in is on 2 occasions. One, in a steal situation. If a team is wrong, the other team has 10 seconds to confer and either pass or come up with a response to be delivered by the captain. That'd be Circa or Mark. You may consult then. You may also consult at the beginning of each category while I riff a little bit to give you time to ask yourself whether somebody on the team might be excellent in that category and you want to save the higher points for them. Remember, one can only buzz in twice in any 5 clues. So for each category, you may only buzz in twice. If you buzz in a 3rd time, your team will be penalized. Okay? Because we want to keep it on the up and up, that's why we have no consulting permitted during the regular game. So it's as if you were sitting in 750 3rd Avenue, sitting at a table with a buzzer where you can't consult before you just you're on your own to buzz in for your team. When you buzz, I will recognize you and you'll have 3 seconds to unmute and respond. Okay? Other than that, we've worked it all out very, very nicely. I urge you to be bold and use the first round to get your sea legs, get comfortable with the format. There's not many points in the first half, so you can have some fun and test it all out. Okay, are we ready to go, Dan? Dan, are we ready to go?
So, guys, sorry about this. For Med-Surg, I think Stacy's going to bow out. She's just having such trouble staying connected. So we're just waiting to get Monica onto the buzzer.
Oh, all right. Sorry to hear that, but so we'll be 4 on 3. Is that the way that'll work?
Correct.
Okay. 3-person teams have beaten 4-person teams many times in the past. So.
We shall see. We're very happy that we still had enough to play. So.
And Bob, I would just say to do the buzzer wraparound whenever you guys are ready, as if you haven't done that yet.
Sorry, I was looking at the clues. I thought you had done that.
Nope. Rochelle, are you good to go? I saw her on mute. Not sure if she said anything.
Good to go. Maybe she went.
Hangouts. I love them. I love Hangouts. I don't know if you guys could tell. So I don't hear Rochelle. I don't know if she's trying to talk here. We can do the wraparound while waiting. So let's do Lobstrocities. I'm going to assume Rochelle can hear me. But let's go with Kristen first.
Just buzz in, Dan.
Yes, please. I don't see it coming up. Let's see.
I saw it.
I saw Monica's
I
and
don't.
Kristen.
Awesome.
Oh.
Let's see.
Monica, you're in. Yay.
Well, I didn't see it, and if I don't see it,
Right.
nothing gets seen. So
I'm trying to click on Rochelle's thumbnail, and I'm not getting the buzzer to come up. So let me try to reach out to Rochelle. No one hears Rochelle talking, right? It's not me.
no, I had the buzzer, and then I on the screen. Then I clicked on her box, and now it's dark.
Black, yeah. All right. Yeah, and on the broadcast, I just see the placeholder. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Remember, while we're waiting, remember, teams, to stay muted until and unless I recognize you, so you can have a merry conversation as long as you're not talking during the regular game proper, where we allow no consultation. By the way, our first category will be New Testament quotes. New Testament quotes.
Ooh.
So, you know, on the teams, you can decide whether that's a strength of yours or not. And remember, you can only buzz in twice. We're waiting to restore the buzzer, and then we'll be all set.
Looks like John booted. John's back.
It booted me, but I'm back.
Has anybody else experiencing this outside of Hangouts on Air? I've been having trouble with Hangouts on multiple machines of late. I don't know if anybody else has been. Yes, Chris, thank you for confirming my bias. I appreciate that. I know that's what you do every day. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Joking. Trying to fill some time as Rochelle gets back. Ah, look at that.
Can you guys, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Do I have to reset up the buzzer, or should it still be there?
You need to reshare it. You don't need to reset up the actual game code.
No, it went away.
Then yes, we'll need to set up a new game code.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess when I closed the.
If you close the browser, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
Mark is refreshing real quick. He's also logging back in. There he is.
It's all in a day's work at the TPT trough.
Red team is MedSurge.
Correct.
Red team is MedSurge. Blue team is the Lobstrocities.
All right, new game code 579.
So we're swapping game codes to 579. 579er. And listening to myself in a slight echo is not fun.
No.
I have to log back in. Sorry.
We're still awaiting the buzzer test.
Okay, can you guys now see the?
Yep. That's
Okay.
Mark.
It said Mark.
In your mill.
John, Kristen, Circa.
And waiting on Kim, I believe is the last to test.
What's the game code? I had to relog in, and it's
579.
579er.
Boy, this does not like me today. Thank you.
I don't think it's just you, Kimberly.
Okay, let's rush. Let's get started.
All right,
Good luck. I'll be here.
I'm going on mute, but I'm here.
Okay, great. Before it breaks down again, let's get there. Good luck, teams. Big smiles, big energy. Remember, you don't have to wait for me to complete the clue. When you think you know the answer, buzz in. Here we go. New Testament quotes, as previously announced, for 1 point. In Luke, Elizabeth told her, "Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb." Kristen.
Who is Mary?
Mary is correct for first blood to Lobstrocities. New Testament quotes for 2 points. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but this is weak. Watch it, Yamil. Unmute and speak, please. You have to unmute, Yamil.
He is unmuted. It sounds like we can't hear him. Mark, is he on the conference on with you?
Yeah, I can check. Or we have it muted. You want me to play it through the speaker?
Yes, please.
The flesh is correct.
Yamil, can you refresh and rejoin?
Yeah. Yeah, refresh and rejoin is a good idea. Okay.
Quick thinking. Good job. Thanks.
Here we go. Everybody mute. New Testament quotes for 3. Jesus told those in the synagogue, "Ye will surely say unto me this proverb, Physician, do this." Jesus told those in the synagogue, "Ye will surely say unto me this proverb, Physician, do this." Mark.
Heal thyself.
Is correct for another 3 points for Lobstrocities. For those of you watching, even though Lobstrocities has buzzed in on all three, it was a different team member each time. Everyone gets 2 buzzes per category max. New Testament quotes for 4. Before his conversion on the road to Damascus, he, quote, persecuted the church of God. Mark?
Who is Saul?
I'll take it. Saul, Paul,
Paul.
4 points. Now, for those of you watching, Mark cannot buzz in on this last clue, but he'll be able to come back for Wimbledon, which will be our second category. But before we get to Wimbledon, notice how I slipped that in there? Nice, easy transition. We'll finish up New Testament quotes for 5. In Mark chapter 4, Jesus sailed in a boat when there arose a great storm, and he rebuked this. In Mark chapter 4, Jesus sailed in a boat. Kristen?
The wind and the waves.
The wind is what I have, and we'll take that. The wind. Team Lobstrocities knows its Bible, and that's 15 to zip. But by the way, I'll be repeating the score after every 3 categories, just so you know. Occasionally I'll throw in an update. But don't worry, MedSurge, plenty of points left. And maybe Wimbledon will be in your wheelhouse. Here we go, Wimbledon for 1 point. In 1967, color TV was introduced to the UK when this network sponsored a tournament on center court. Mark?
NBC.
Incorrect. We subtract a point, and here we go. Circa, you and your team can consult, and you'll have 10 seconds to respond. In 1967, color TV was introduced to the UK when this network sponsored a tournament on center court.
BBC?
That is right. The BBC was the network. And you can see, every spectators, how this works. Circa could have said pass at any point. She elected to unmute and respond for the team. That's the way it works. Wimbledon for 2. Here we go. The Wimbledon Championships are the only Grand Slam event played on this surface. Mark?
Grass.
Is correct. Grass is correct for 2 points. Wimbledon for 3. Between 1973 and 2006, this Czech American appeared in 326 Wimbledon matches, the most of any player, male or female. Emil?
Martina Navratilova.
That is correct. You don't believe it? 326 over 4 decades. Amazing. She's incredible. Wimbledon for 4 rather. Sorry, that was 3 points. Wimbledon for 4. Well done, Yamil. This sport is attached to the name of the club that sponsors Wimbledon, though activities are confined to tennis. This sport is attached to the name of the club that sponsors Wimbledon, though activities are confined to tennis. Circa?
Racquetball?
Incorrect. Subtract 4 points. Mark, I'll read it one more time for your team. You may pass or respond. This sport is attached to the name of the club that sponsors Wimbledon, though activities are confined to tennis.
We're going to try croquet.
That is correct. The full name, for everybody's elucidation, is the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club. Not the He-Man Woman Haters Club, which was another club altogether. Okay, here we go. Wimbledon for 5. In 1985, he became the youngest player, the first unseeded player, and the first German to win the men's singles title. Kristen?
Boris Becker.
Boris Becker is right. I didn't know all that. Youngest, unseeded, and German. Okay, we have our next category. This is an interesting one. Among the 10 most populous countries. Among the 10 most populous countries. See how you know your geography and your population. For 1 point, this South American country has about as many people as all the other South American countries combined. Yamil?
Brazil.
Brazil is the one. That's correct. Among the 10 most populous countries for 2, the Dharma Chakra, or Wheel of Life, appears on the flag of this country. The Dharma Chakra, or Wheel of Law, appears on the flag of this country? Circa.
India.
That's correct. The Dharma Chakra is on the flag of India. Among the world's 10 most populous countries for 3.
Sorry, Bob, just to interrupt. I just want to confirm. Did we get a point for our first answer? Can we get a clarification? I thought we had 29 before, but I could be wrong.
Well, the scorekeeper will check and we'll correct it.
Thanks. I just wanted to double check.
Okay. Here we go. Among the world's 10 most populous countries.
Bob?
Yes.
I don't know. Was anyone else notice that?
It might be okay. I just, for some reason, I didn't think it. I saw it change. We can move on.
I think it's okay.
It's 1 point, so it's okay.
Okay.
I think it's correct. We'll hope. Here we go for 3 points. Among the world's 10 most populous countries, the Ural Mountains form a boundary between the European and Asian parts of this country. The Ural Mountains form a boundary between the European and Asian parts of this country. Kim, just under the buzzer.
Russia.
Russia is correct. Very much in the news these days. Russia is right. Kim is pleased. Lobstrocities gets 3 more points. Here we go for among the most populous countries for 4. It's the only African country in the top 10. It's the only, Yamil.
Nigeria.
Nigeria is right for 4 points. Finally, Lobstrocity, among the world's most populous countries for 5. I was just going to announce the score. It claims all or part of 3 of the 10 largest islands in the world. It claims all or part of 3 of the 10 largest islands in the world. 5 seconds. Time. That populous country is Indonesia. Indonesia. This is Java, Sumatra. I forget what the third one is. Anyway, at the end of the halfway point in the first round, something of a blowout so far. Lobstrocities 36, MedSurge -1, but never say die. MedSurge, there's plenty of points coming up, plenty of opportunities. Here we go for our 4th category in the first round: pawnch shops. Pawnch shops, and that's spelled P-A-U-N-C-H. Pawnch shops, something I happen to know something about. Here we go for 1 point. There are 290 fat calories in one of this chain's extra crispy breasts, but only 130 in the original. Mark?
KFC, Kentucky Fried
KFC is right. Only 130 in the original recipe, 290 in the extra crispy. So, you pays your money, you takes your choice. Pawnch shops for 2. Its triple whopper has a whopping, Yamil?
Burger King.
That is correct. 2 more points. I have to get this in. Its triple whopper has 1,160 calories and 205 milligrams of cholesterol. They should call it heart attack in a box. Okay, pawnch shops for 3. I think you're getting the idea of the category. Pawnch shops. If you're thinking outside the bun, think about the 9, Yamil.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell is right. Yamil, you're showing a disturbing familiarity with this category. Fortunately for you and your reputation, you are out of this category until we're done with it. I got to finish this, though. The volcano nachos are 990 calories and 1,930 milligrams of sodium. Are you kidding me? Okay, pawnch shops for 4. Oh, I'm getting sick just even reading these. Hit a grand slam slugger with hash browns. Mark?
Denny's.
Yes, Denny's is right. Another humiliating admission, but there you go. It got the points. The grand slam slugger knocks in 85% of your recommended daily value of fat. So there you have that. And finally, Of course, I've eaten at all these places, so what am I saying? Here we go for 5 points in paunch shops. The Melbourne, a porterhouse at this steakhouse chain, weighs in at over 1,000 circa.
Outback Steakhouse.
That's right, over 1,000 calories for the Melbourne. And MedSurge is in the black with 4 points. Okay, we have 2 more categories to go in this first round. The first of the 2 will benefit you history buffs. Antebellum, that is pre-Civil War, Robert E. Lee. Antebellum, Robert E. Lee. So we're going to look at the gentleman in the pre-Civil War days. Here we go with 1 point. Robert graduated from this school in 1829 with an incredible 0 demerits. Robert graduated from this school in 1829 with an incredible 0 demerits. Kim?
William and Mary?
Incorrect. We subtract the Lobstrocity point, circa 10 seconds. Robert graduated from this school in 1829 with an incredible 0 demerits.
We'll pass.
Okay. West Point. He went to West Point.
I wasn't thinking that as
Which is what I was going to say.
awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
Well, no demerits for Robert E. Lee. Ooh. Okay, here we go. Antebellum R.E. Lee in for 2. Robert E. Lee was born January 19th, 1807 at Stratford Hall, the Lee family estate in Northern Virginia on the banks of this river. Robert E. Lee was born January 19th, 1807 at Stratford Hall, the Lee family estate in Northern Virginia on the banks of this river. 5 seconds. John?
Potomac.
Potomac is correct. That's 2 more points for MedSurge. Well done, sir. Antebellum Robert E. Lee for 3. In 1831, Lee married Mary Ann, sorry, I'll start again. In 1831, Lee married Mary Anna Custis, the step-great-granddaughter of this man. In 1831, Lee married Mary Anna Custis, the step-great-granddaughter of this man. 5 seconds. Time. If you remembered that Custis was Martha's maiden name, you might have thought of George Washington. Martha Custis Washington, George Washington. Okay, Robert E. Lee for 4. During this war, Lee distinguished himself at the siege of Veracruz. Mark?
War of 1812?
Incorrect. Subtract 4 points. Good opportunity for you, Circa. Here we go. During this war, Lee distinguished himself at the siege of Veracruz and other battles. During this war, Lee distinguished himself at the siege of Veracruz and other battles. 10 seconds. MedSurge team has 10 seconds to consult and search.
Okay, we're good. Spanish-American War?
Sorry, that's incorrect. That was postbellum. Nope, it's the Mexican War. The Mexican War. So no harm, no foul. Both teams lose 4 points. Here we go for 5 in Robert E. Lee. In 1859, Robert E. Lee commanded the U.S. Marines that assaulted this man's barricaded forces at Harper's Ferry. Mark?
John Brown.
John Brown is correct. I don't think Mark buzzed in 3 times, did he? No, only the 2. Okay, John Brown is right for 5 points. Here's our final category in the first round, 3-letter words. 3-letter words. All the responses are 3-letter words. Good luck, teams. Some of these are a little brief. Here we go for 1 point. Take a small drink. Take a, Mark?
Sip.
Sip is correct, as Sylvester would say it. 1 point. 2 points for 3-letter words. It's the stiff upper part, projecting rim of a pitcher. Kim?
Lip.
Stiff upper lip is right. 2 more points for Lobstrocities. For 3. Nada, nothing, or perhaps to fasten your pants. Circa?
Zip.
Zip is right. 3 points for Med-Surg. 3-letter words for 4. It can precede cord, tide. John? John, unmute and respond.
No, it's okay. I buzzed in too early.
Okay, we have to take away 4. Here you go, Mark. It can precede cord, tide, and roaring.
Yeah, we'll go with rip.
Rip is correct. And finally, for 5 points, after a 1997 golf injury, Evel Knievel got this body part replaced. Mark?
Hip.
Hip is right. And hip hooray for you. It's quite the blowout so far. Lobstrocities 57, Med-Surg 1. But as I always, and as Alex always want to say, now the points are doubled and the scores can really change. Med-Surg will get a little bit more aggressive, and we'll see where we go with this next set of categories. Oh, yes, I remember these. Our first category is one of my favorites, pizza. Pizza. Okay, so whoever's a pizza expert in your group, here we go. Pizza for 2 points. Sal's Famous Pizzeria is a focal point of this Spike Lee film. Sal's Famous Pizzeria. John?
Do the right thing.
You did the right thing. That's 2 points for Med-Surg. Pizza for 4. Cold Pizza was a morning show that debuted in 2003 on this, Mark?
ESPN 2.
Well, I'll take ESPN, Sports Cable Network. You are correct. The note is here is actually ESPN 2. We would have accepted both. Well done. For 6 points, ScarJo's former hubby, he was one of the title guys in Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. Mark?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds is correct for 6 points. Pizza for 8. This TV show centered on Fry, a pizza boy who was cryogenically frozen in 2000. Kim?
Futurama.
And reawakened in the year 2999. Futurama is correct. And finally, for 10 points, early in her career, Julia Roberts played Daisy in this tasty, Circa?
Mystic Pizza.
Tasty film. Mystic Pizza is right. 10 points. Lobstrosity 75, Med-Surg 13. Okay. Our next category, get the theme, Papa John's. Papa John's is the category. For 2 points. Excuse me. He had 4 daughters, Bessie, Alta, Alice, and Edith, and 1 son, John D. Jr. He had, Jamil?
John Rockefeller.
Rockefeller is correct. John D. Sr. is correct for 2 points. Papa John's for 4. He had 2 daughters and 2 other sons, in addition to the one who became president in 1825. Jamil?
John Adams.
John Adams is correct for 4 points. Papa John's for 6. One of his sons, John IV, wrote the memoir, The Other Side of Eden. One of his sons, John IV, wrote the memoir, The Other Side of Eden. Kim?
Swift.
That is incorrect. We subtract 6 points. Circa, you and your team. One of his sons, John IV, wrote the memoir, The Other Side of Eden.
We'll pass.
Okay.
Can I guess?
We'll take a guess for no points.
No, is it John Steinbeck?
It is John Steinbeck. Steinbeck he wrote East of Eden, and his son said there was another side that you didn't know about my dad. Papa John's for 8. Here we go. This poet's third daughter, Deborah, was born in 1652, shortly after he went totally blind. This poet's third daughter, Deborah, was born in 1652, shortly after he went totally blind. Time. It was a triple stumper on the show, too, where Bunyan was wrong and Donne was wrong. The man who wrote on his blindness was John Milton. John Milton is what we were looking for. Finally, Papa John's for 10. This Rabbit Run author and father of 4 also wrote a child's calendar with a poem for every month. This Rabbit Run author and father of 4 also wrote a child's calendar with a poem for every month. Time, boy, the reputation sure has dissipated.
Updike.
Time, everybody knows a new Updike at one time, and now his reputation has really.
Now the players are just too young.
Yeah, that's just too young. The Rabbit books, by the way, there are 4 of them, starting with Rabbit Run, are fantastic if you think of it. Okay, we go from pizza and Papa John's to, ready? Dominoes. Dominoes is our third category. I love this board. Here we go. Dominoes for 2. We have great expectations. You know this 3-letter term for a dot on a domino. We have great, Mark?
Die.
Time. Okay, we take away 2. Here you go, Circa. Try again. We have great expectations. You know this 3-letter term for a dot on a domino. The team is consulting and can pass or answer with intent. Pip is correct. 2-point. Pip is the hero of great expectations. How do they get 4 more clues out of dominoes? Let's see. For 4, dominoes originated in this country in ancient times. The game didn't reach Europe until the 18th century. Dominoes originated in this country in ancient times. The game didn't reach Europe until the 18th century. 5 seconds. Instituted in China. China was what we were looking for. Here we go. Dominoes for 6. A domino with both ends having the same value is called a double, or this, which is 1 letter longer and also a garment. A domino with both ends having the same value is called a double, or this, which is 1, Mark?
A doublet?
Doublet is right. That makes up for Pip, right? 6 points is correct. A doublet, a garment. Okay. Here we go for 4 points. 8 points. My mistake. Thank you, Rochelle. 8 points in dominoes. Domino pieces are sometimes called these because they were originally made of ivory. Circa.
Bones.
They are called bones. Very good. 8 points for Med-Surge. And finally, dominoes for 10. Early pieces had white faces on ebony backing, representing a priest wearing a domino, a dark this. Early pieces had white faces on ebony backing, resembling a priest wearing a domino, a dark this. Time. A domino is another word for a hood or a robe. A hood is known as a domino. Okay. At the end of the second round, at the end of the halfway point of the second round, Lobstrocity 79, Med-Surge still within reach at 23. After Pizza Papa John's Dominoes, we go to Little Caesars. Little Caesars, that's S-E-I-Z-E-R-S. Little Caesars, S-E-I-Z-E-R-S. You'll get the hang of it. For 2 points, Sea anemones use these both to paralyze and to gather in passing prey. Sea anemones, Circa.
Tentacles.
Tentacles is right for 2 points. Little Caesars for 4. There's a half-ounce African dwarf species of this colorful bird that dives into rivers to seize lunch. There's a half-ounce African dwarf species of this colorful bird that dives into rivers to seize lunch. 5 seconds. Time. Triple stumper on the show. It's known as a kingfisher. A kingfisher. Little Caesars, you're getting the hang of this one, for 6 points. The white-handed species of this Asian lesser ape uses its white hands to grab fruit and eggs. The white-handed species of this Asian lesser ape uses its white hands to grab fruit and eggs. Time. In the supermarket the other day, I saw a woman with white hands grabbing fruit and eggs, but she was not a gibbon. A gibbon is what we were looking for. Little Caesars for 8. Here we go.
Sorry, I see Monica's not in the buzzer. Just
And then Dan left. I don't know if that matters. Doesn't matter. That Dan
Yeah, if she try the buzzer, Monica. Yeah, it works.
Oh, okay. So,
Okay.
All right. Sorry.
Here we go for 8 points. The P type of this, PEA, the P type of this lives on bivalves and grabs food from bivalves with its pincers. The P, PEA, Yamil?
A crab.
P crab is correct for 8 points. Finally, Little Caesars for 10. 3 inches long, with a 2.5-inch fluffy tail. The African pygmy this feeds on seeds. Nuts are out of its league. 3 inches long, with a 2.5-inch fluffy tail. The African pygmy this feeds on seeds. Nuts are out of its league. Kim.
Squirrel.
The pygmy squirrel is correct.
Yay!
10 more points for Lobstrocities. Okay, we go from Papa John's, Domino's, and Little Caesars to Numero Uno. That's NAME-RO. Numero Uno. Or people who are known by one name only. One name only, one name only. That's all you've got to give. Here we go. For 2 points. This philosopher was born in Stagira in Macedonia around 384 BC. This philosopher was born in Stagira in Macedonia around 384 BC. Yamil.
Aristotle.
Correct for 2 points.
The only philosopher I know by one name.
Well, they got, somebody said Socrates on the show and they were wrong. Okay. For 4 points. In 1983, this Bulgarian-born artist surrounded 11 islands in Biscayne Bay with floating pink fabric. In 1983, this Bulgarian-born artist surrounded 11 islands in Biscayne Bay with floating pink fabric. 5 seconds. Somebody's unmuted. But we can't hear anything anyway. Time. That artist.
I unmuted it because I was going to answer for you.
Oh, go ahead, Rochelle.
That's Christo.
Christo. That's right. Don't you think Christo should have done commercials for Crisco? I think they passed up a good bet. He could have surrounded Manhattan Island with Crisco. Okay. Numero Uno for 6 points. A chance to overpronounce French. In 1659, he produced his first major comedy, Les Précieuses Ridicules, for Louis XIV. In 1659, he produced his first major comedy, Les Précieuses Ridicules, for Louis XIV. 5 seconds. Monica.
Voltaire.
Sorry, have to subtract 6 points there. Mark, you want to take it? In 1659, he produced his first major comedy, Les Précieuses Ridicules, for Louis XIV.
We're going to try Bollier.
Say again?
Bollier.
Have to subtract it. It's not Bollier, it's Moliere. Moliere with an M. So no harm, no foul. Both teams lose 6 points. Here we go. Numero uno for 8. This female folk singer who died in 2008 was called the voice of the civil rights movement. This female folk singer who died in 2008 was called the voice of the civil rights movement. Five seconds. Time. Her single name is Odetta. Odetta. Somebody called me and told me she died, and I said, Odetta, shame. And here we go for one-word names for 10 points. The second president of Indonesia, he ruled from 1968 to 1998. The second president of Indonesia, he ruled from 1968 to 1998. Time. The correct answer is Suharto. They expected people would say Sukarno, but it was not for 10 points. It was Suharto. Okay, our final category is supposed to be CPK, but we can't CPK because it's a visual category. So the entire category has to be a surprise substitution, surprise substitution, surprise substitution, la 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 la. We have to go back to the future to another whole set of clues. And here's your final clue, having nothing to do with pizza. 19th century opera. Here we go, 19th century opera for 2 points. When this opera opens, a cigarette girl tells soldiers she is looking for a corporal named Jose. When this opera opens, a cigarette girl tells soldiers, Mark?
Miss Saigon.
That is incorrect. Subtract 2 points. Circa, what do you think? When this opera opens, a cigarette girl tells soldiers she is looking for a corporal named Jose. They're consulting.
Pass.
Okay. Oh, that's a fairly popular opera, Carmen. L'amour est en fond du bohème, il n'a jamais connu de loi. I could do the whole aria, but I shan't. Here we go, 19th century opera for 4. He began writing Die Meistersinger in 1845 as a companion piece to Tannhäuser, but didn't finish it until 1867. He began writing Die Meistersinger in 1845 as a companion piece to Tannhäuser, but didn't finish it until 1867. Circa.
Mozart.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Mark? He began writing Die Meistersinger in 1845 as a companion piece to Tannhäuser, but didn't finish it until 1867.
We're going to try Wagner.
Richard Wagner is correct. That's 4 points. Should have asked Robert E. Lee for help when he got back from the Mexican War. Okay. Oh, I don't know how good we're going to do with these. Here we go with 6 points, 19th century opera. In this 1892 Leoncavallo opera, the clowns enter an Italian village in a parade led by a donkey cart. In this 1892 Leoncavallo opera, the clowns enter an Italian village in a parade led by a donkey cart. time. Doesn't that make opera sound like fun? The most famous clown in, huh?
I was just going to say, wasn't there a Jerry Seinfeld episode about this?
Could be. The opera is Pagliacci, I Pagliacci. Vesti Pagliaccio. Okay. Pagliacci was the answer. Yeah, I believe there was featured in a Seinfeld episode. Here we go. 19th century opera for 8. This Rossini opera was first performed under an Italian title meaning Almaviva, the useless precaution. This Rossini opera was first performed under an Italian title meaning Almaviva, the useless precaution. Monica.
Tosca?
Sorry, that's incorrect. Mark, any Rossini opera performed under an Italian title meaning Almaviva, the useless precaution?
No, we'll pass.
No. That's not as good a title as The Barber of Seville. The Barber of Seville, who was employed.
Little Rascals theme earlier.
That's right. I'm the Barber of Seville, Figaro. Boo! Anyway, Mark and I know where you have this common ground. Here we go for 10 points. Oh, my. When first produced, this Verdi opera, known as the Strayed One, S-T-R-A-Y-E-D, the one who strays, was a failure due in part to contemporary costumes. When first produced, this Verdi opera, known as the Strayed One, was a failure due in part to contemporary costumes. Time. Rochelle, do you know that one?
I do not.
Okay. The Italian for Strayed One is La Traviata. La Traviata. So, kind of a blowout all the way for Lobstrocities, winning 95-7. Not to worry, MedSurge. It's a double elimination, so we will see you again in the tournament. Nicely done, Mark, and the team members of Lobstrocities.
Guys.
We will see you again
Thank you.
on PPT. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Rochelle. Very much.
Good job.
Thanks, guys.